start with Mr. DeFord. Welcome for your first committee hearing, I assume.
Forgive me, I'm a little nervous. I'm used to having a rock and roll band behind me when I have a microphone in front of me. During the time that I've been given to share my testimony here, I think it's important to note before I start that in these 5 minutes I'll be speaking that somebody in the United States will die of a drug overdose, and it is almost a 72% chance that during those 5 minutes it will be fentanyl related. Having started that way, Chairman Brown, Ranking Member Scott, and esteemed committee members, thank you for having me. I know this is a bit of a curveball, but I like a little baseball myself. My name is Jason DeFord, but to most I am known as Jelly Roll. It is important to establish earlier that I am a musician and that I have no political alliance. I am neither Democrat nor Republican. In fact, because of my past, my right to vote has been restricted. Thus far, I have never paid attention to a political race in my life. Ironically, I think that makes me the perfect person to speak about this because fentanyl transcends partisanship and ideology, gentlemen and women. This is a totally different problem. And I was speaking outside to the media, and I gave them a statistic that said 190 people a day overdose and die every single day in the United States of America. That is about a 737 plane. That's what about a 737 aircraft can carry. Could you imagine the national media attention it would get if they were reporting that a plane was crashing every single day and killing 190 people? But because it's 190 drug addicts, we don't feel that way. Because America has been known to bully and shame drug addicts instead of dealing and trying to understand what the actual root of the problem is with that. But the sad news is that narrative is changing too, because the statistics say that in all likelihood, almost every person in this room has lost a friend, family member, or colleague to the disease known as addiction. I've attended more funerals than I care to share with y'all. This committee, I could sit here and cry for days about the caskets I've carried of people I loved dearly, deeply, in my soul, good people, not just drug addicts, uncles, friends, cousins, normal people. Some people that just got in a car wreck and started taking a pain pill to manage it. One thing led to the other. And how fast it spirals out of control, I don't think people truly understand. So many people. Equally, I think it's important for me to tell y'all that I'm not here to defend the use of illegal drugs. And I also understand the paradox of my history as a drug dealer standing in front of this committee. But equally, I think that's what makes me perfect to talk about this. I was a part of the problem. I am here now standing as a man that wants to be a part of the solution. I brought my community down. I hurt people. I was the uneducated man in the kitchen playing chemist with drugs I knew absolutely nothing about, just like these drug dealers are doing right now when they're mixing every drug on the market with fentanyl, and they're killing the people we love. I'll be honest with y'all, my desire is to only get older and only do better and be better. I believed when I sold drugs genuinely that selling drugs was a victimless crime. I truly believe that, y'all. My father always told me what doesn't get you in the wash will get you in the rinse. Now I have a 15-year-old daughter whose mother is a drug addict. Every day I get to look in the eyes of a victim in my household of the effects of drugs. Every single day. And every single day I have to wonder if me and my wife, if today will be the day that I have to tell my daughter that her mother became a part of the national statistic. History repeats itself, gentlemen. Even in the 1990s, crack cocaine had long made its way into my middle lower class neighborhood. And at that moment, even as a teenager, you could have never convinced me in that moment that there would be a far bigger problem on the horizon in the form of a pharmaceutical drug. And then I watched opioids and Oxycontin burst onto the scene.
Stopping it there, and welcome to Mika Reaction Reviews. We're reacting to things on the internet, stopping it really because of fair use, and I don't want to get copyright striked. And if the video is like longer than 3 minutes, I usually stop it, or longer than 4 minutes. This is Jelly Roll. If you don't know who Jelly Roll is, like he said, he's a musician. The reason why I'm reacting to Jelly Roll, not only because this is an important topic that concerns a lot of people in America and the West today, but also because I used to react to Jelly Roll's music. He has an amazing voice, very bluesy, very rock and roll. I still have a music reaction channel, by the way. I'll put the link down below. Trying to stay as consistent as possible. It's kind of hard though. Anywho, he's doing a testimony in the Senate about the fentanyl crisis. Wow, I didn't know Jelly Roll used to sell drugs, but I'm glad that he's taking ownership of the harm that he's done, because I hate when I see drug dealers, especially if you're selling something like crack cocaine or heroin or something with fentanyl in it, or Trank, this new drug that's on the street that's turning people into zombies, that will say the stuff like, well, I had to do what I had to do, or I'm an ethical drug addict or something like that. Instead of just being like, no, you're the problem, you're harming your community, you're adding to the degradation of the people around you. So like, I like the fact that he didn't really like try to excuse his behavior at all. He said he was uneducated and ignorant, but he didn't use that as an excuse. And so I like the fact that he ddid that. I also like the fact that he said this is not a political thing. I'm not affiliated with any political party. I didn't know that you can be restricted to vote. I didn't know that. He committed a crime because he was a drug dealer. I don't know. I didn't know that. But I like that he said that, because I do hate when because everything has to be political. Everybody makes this a political thing. Oh, it's the Democrats. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. You know what I mean? And I think there's maybe progressive policies that's made the situation worse, but I don't think it's political at all. I'm still, even with this testimony, I'm still pro legalizing drugs, because I'm just pro freedom. But I think a lot of the money that we use to throw people in private prisons and keep them for years and years and years, only for them to just come out worse and be no positive impact to the society and their community, we take that money and we put it into rehab programs, education, and we start at the home. We start at the roots. That's how you stop a lot of this stuff. You focus at the home, because the war on drugs has been proven to fail. So I just don't see the point of constantly going in a route that's not working. You know, doing the same thing over, getting the same results. What is that the definition of? Right? Insanity. So even as heartbreaking it is when some people lose their family members, I have family members who are drug addicts. I had to let friends go because of their addiction. I still am pro legalizing it. I just think because we can do better with the money that we're using to lock people up, and I think there's better solutions to criminalizing the drug addicts. But anywho, I agree with a lot of you said. Let's continue.
I'm here to tell y'all that fentanyl is going to make the Sackler family look like saints. And I want to let y'all sit with that for a second. It is time for us to be proactive and not reactive. We were reactive with crack. We were reactive with opioids. And y'all are taking the first step at somebody in Senate finally being proactive. I truly believe in my heart that this bill will stop the supply and can help stop the supply of fentanyl. But in part of being proactive, gentlemen and women and ladies, I have to be frank and tell y'all that if we don't talk to the other side of Capitol Hill and stop the demand, we are going to spin our tires in the mud. Y'all are taking the first step, but I encourage you to take it outside of this room, and you take it to your colleagues and your constituents, and you give them the most that you can. I know I've got a few seconds here, and Senator Brown said I may or may not go over. All I want to say is that I not only encourage y'all to do this, I encourage y'all to take it a step further. At every concert I perform, I witness the heartbreaking impact of fentanyl. I see fans grappling with this tragedy in the form of music, that they seek solace in music and hope that their experiences won't befall others. They crave reassurance. These are the people I'm here to speak for, y'all. These people crave reassurance that their elected officials actually care more about human life than they do about ideology and partisanship. I stand here as a regular member of society. I am a stupid songwriter, y'all, but I have firsthand witnessed this in a way most people have not. I encourage y'all to not only pass this bill, but I encourage you to bring it up where it matters, at the kitchen table. Thank you for your time.
Bring it up where it matters, at the kitchen table. Starts at home. I love that he keeps bringing it up like this is not a political thing. This is not an ideology thing. I'm not pro-enabling. There are choices in the matter. I think it's harder than just stop. Just don't do it anymore. But of course, there's choices leading up to that. Big Pharma had a really big hand to play in it. But I think we need to start seeing why and how they got here, and instead of constantly demonizing the addict, it's not working. So stop doing something that's not working. That doesn't mean enable. It doesn't mean to give them a comfortable bed and just let them keep shooting up. That doesn't mean that. But you have to look at the person as a human being and understand, like, what is the road that brought them here? And now it's not just Democrats. The Democrats did it. It's the Democrats. No, it's a lot of shit that was put into place that got them here. Maybe the cost of fucking living is too goddamn high. you know, and people can't take it and deal with it anymore, and the family's falling apart because they can't afford to feed their kids. Anywho, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to get notifications when I do upload. All that really does help with the algorithm, guys. You can donate, it helps me on this platform. You guys have an amazing, beautiful day. Bye. I don't know if I was in focus, but yeah.
Forgive me, I'm a little nervous. I'm used to having a rock and roll band behind me when I have a microphone in front of me. During the time that I've been given this